What's up? Pumitik yung camera maybe a second sooner than I expected. How's everybody doing? It's another episode of Recall, and tonight we're talking about Week 6. That's right, Week 6. At your service, my name is Leo, ang inyong host sa gabing ito. And we have a couple of special guests, and you know who they are. Let's bring them in. We're joined tonight by Renmar, Santa Cruz, and Lyrick. Back at it again about 3 weeks in a row. Tama ba, Lyrick? Is it your third week on Recall?
Yes, third week ko na. Tsaka nag-i-improve na ako, hindi na masyadong kabado. Konting kaba na lang.
Okay, wag natin batiin. Good to have you back. Happy to hear from you. And of course, MPL Philippines, Sweetheart. That's your new nickname. That you can't change it. That's it. You're the Sweetheart now.
What? Bakit? Why? Why am I the Sweetheart?
Who else is?
That's as far from the truth as possible. I don't know, but it ain't me. I'll accept it if that catches on. Sure, why not? Sige lang. Thank you. I'm good. What's up? Nagulat lang. Tinawag akong MPL Philippines Sweetheart. My goodness.
You got a ring to it, right? Just say it. Keep saying it. There's a ring to it.
Yeah. Okay na. Okay na.
Yeah. All right. Tonight's show is stacked because we're talking about a lot of things. But before that, we would like to extend the congratulations, what I wanted to say, to Onyx Philippines. They are the first team to secure a playoff spot. Imagine niyo yun, yung super rookies pa. Yung super rookies pa ang nauna. Bakit ganun? How? This is legit. I told you guys they were legit.
Yeah.
Imagine, nung... sorry. Nung umpisa nung season, yung Onyx yung pinaka-dinadoubt ng mga tao kasi galing silang amateur, tapos parang yung expectation nila parang sobrang baba lang, pero nauna pa sila sa ngayon, sa playoffs.
I was one of those people, actually.
Yeah, nahalo rin siya ng ng nasupresa yung mga tao sa Onyx. Of course, they were the blind spot going into the season alongside TNC kasi hindi natin alam masyado about how Onyx will play in the MPL. Of course, meron din mga nakikita yung mga tao from their before MPL days. But then, I think it isn't just surprise. It's really just this team is really great. They're a really talented team. They're a great team, and they deserve that playoff spot.
I like that they even beat the defending champions RSG. They beat Blacklist to the punch. Ang dami nilang dinaanan, and they really worked hard for it. So again, congratulations. One more thing, a bit of housekeeping before we go into the show proper. I'd like to remind you guys that on the other side of the world, in North America, mainit din ang MLBB scene because they've released the brackets, actually the list of teams competing in the NACT fall season. This is the M4 qualifier for that single slot in the World Championships, and it's one of these teams. Tingnan nyo mga pangalan yan mabuti, kilalanin ninyo. Dahil isa dyan ang lilipad papuntang Jakarta, Indonesia to compete and represent the North American region for the World Championships. Some names to note here is the Valley, Team Gosu, Team First Blood, may Pinoy dyan. Ackerman, nandyan si, what's his name? Si Zia. Zia's there. Team Sexy, used to be where Zio's from. Oh, right!
Yeah.
Not si Oresio again. Is that Ackerman?
Yeah, Ackerman. Yeah, yun yung kinalaban ng The Valley.
Oh. And then there's some funny names here like Break the Cade and Halfwits, which is, again, if you don't know, is the squad of Santi from his hometown of Capiz. So I don't know what this Halfwits in NA is doing or if they're related in any way.
Sorry, I can't hold it in, man. It's just so funny. Nakita mo yung pangalan sa top left, BBQ Toshi. Sorry. It really got me good, man.
BBQ Toshi in NA. Ayan. Kung may King of Kings, kung may Sangraja, dun sa kabila, mayroong BBQ Toshi. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to this being a very tight season for NACT, and I hope the best of the best actually comes through para naman na mabigla ulit tayong lahat. Maybe pull a BTK, kung BTK nga ba yun, na makakalabas sa NACT fall season. Now, let's go ahead and run through the recap. What are we talking about tonight? Here's a quick list of the topics that you can expect on Recall. We're going to do a recap, talk about the week that was, nearing the playoffs, a little bit of numbers, and then we'll talk about the hopes for next play EVOS and TNC. And last but not least, sunod-sunod na yan, some staples on Recall, Power Picks, Power Rankings, and Guest Coin. So simulan natin to. We're gonna do a new take on the recap, and we're gonna actually just do kwentuhan. Alright? We're gonna do kwentuhan. That's the most Konyo way I can actually put it. So magkakwentuhan lang tayo, and we'll start with day one, and we'll talk about that matchup. It was TNC versus RSG, with the defending champions coming out on top. But it was a long drawn-out fight. 3 games ito. Any moments that actually shined for you fellas? Ano ba naalala nyo dito sa RSG versus TNC?
Gusto ko yung game 1 dito. Ang ganda nung idea ng TNC. Kasi normally, di ba, parang pinampangontra sa Fanny, Kufra. Pero pinangkontra nila sa Fanny dito yung Ruby at saka yung Pakito. Kaya isipin nyo, Fanny pa ni Demon Kite to, di ba? Ang napaka-proficient ni Demon Kite sa pag-Fanny. Pero pinakitaan, nandito na talaga yung idea ng TNC. Medyo kinakapos lang siguro talaga sa execution, pero ang ganda ng mga ideyang binabato nila lately. Siguro kung mainit-init to, pero mamaya pa dapat na pag-usapan. Pero tingin ko, kung siguro nung week 3, week 2, week 4, ganito na yung laro nila, baka lumalaban sila sa upper bracket ngayon. Kaso kasi medyo late dumating yung mga idea at execution nila.
Yung Amon jungle na nilabas ng TNC nung game 2, just the idea behind it, just sort of acting like another version of having a lethal counter retribution, except this time he's the end of shards, things like that. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that TNC, as we'll see later on, they're getting the points, they're just not getting those wins. Pero it was starting last week, or maybe week 4 pa lang, we were already starting to get a good look at TNC in terms of like, oh, okay, this is their idea behind it. Kasi weeks 1 to 3 were shaky. Weeks 4 to 6 so far, parang may gets na tayo sa gusto nila gawin. Pero, yun nga, parang may nangyari lang in-game. Execution sometimes falls. Sometimes the other team just comes out better, but they've been drafting really well. Crams, my favorite, one of my favorite players at TNC.
Totoo.
I like how they really put yung TNC, they're putting a lot of importance onto getting the best possible pick for Cram na sobrang proactive. And it's just unfortunate that they lost the series to RSG, who played a tremendous series din naman. MVP performances from Kite and who was the other one? I think it was Light who got the other MVP performance. Yeah.
Was this a Savage? Demon Guy got his first career Savage here, right?
Right, yeah. Oh, yung Savage ng Game 3. Game 3 was like an absolute stomp already though, in favor for RC, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so parang naubusan ng gas yung TNC. But that's a problem for another day because they have another fight coming up. But that's in day 3. The second match of day 1, oh God! Sobrang stacked pala ng day 1 because this was the sweep that Echo put on Bren after that, how do I say, that interesting moment when they just plowed through the base. It was a sweep again. Benny was one of those players that actually partaked in that moment, partok. Yung Beatrix, Cho, and sino isang hero? Sino hero ni Carl nun? Fanny. Like, it doesn't even matter. This series was almost single-handedly defined by that moment. You guys agree that moment really opened their eyes to what was possible?
Nakakabigla nga yung nangyari doon. Kasi parang bumabalik tayo doon sa dating meta na ginagamit si Farah, Miss Bane. Parang ganun. Kasi wala talagang minions nun eh. Tapos tangke-tangke lang, ang galing.
If anything, mas gusto ko yung Faramis Bane kasi medyo nakakatawa siya eh. Tapos ang weird pa nung draft. Kailangan mong piliin yung mga walang kwentang heroes
Ipapasok mo
in a
talaga.
certain order. 'Di ba?
Kailangan mo pa ng ng Selena tsaka Arrival. Magtatanim ka pa
di
sa
ba?
Selena tapos mag-arrival kayo.
Tapos halata nung gagawin mo yun. Pero ito kasing ginawa nila dito, it's like meta heroes lahat and then you can draft it and hide the strategy. Tapos isang tore lang kailangan mo ibaba and then you can do it. I don't know, man. There's a lot that we can talk about this, lalo na may bagong patch. So yeah, Ray Ash, I know you want to talk about the patch heavily, but that's a whole nother show entirely. So maybe we will mention a few of the things that came up, but not the whole thing. All right, real quick, before we move on to day 2, let's talk about, let's say hi to the people in chat. Luke, Errol Liera, Steven, again, Ray Ash, Carl, John, Clever, Simon, Nagtubo, and as well, nandyan din si Carl. Yan, Carl with just Carl. Wala siyang last name, wala rin siyang profile picture. Anyways, day 2. Let's talk about day 2 here. I don't know, I thought Next Play Evos really was building up to something. Pero na-sweep sila ng Onyx. It's a 2-0. And just like that, square 1 ang Next Play Evos.
Yeah.
Ang ganda yung umpisa nung sorry.
Go ahead, man. Continue. Go lang. You're on a roll. Go for it.
Sorry. ang ganda kasi nung umpisa. Tingin ko yung NXPE, may something sila sa Hayabusa. Kahit na sino yung mag-Hayabusa, si H2O o kaya si Kaizen. Nandun yung idea nila kung paano nila i-execute yung Hayabusa. Kasi ang ganda talaga nung umpisa nila dito, kaso parang hindi nila na-hold yung, yung lead. Hindi lang nila na-hold yung lead, tapos ang ganda na nung ikot ni Der dun sa kay Bea tsaka kay Xavier. Naikutan niya na, kaya yun medyo nasuna. Tapos dun yun yung nagiging problema ng NXPE pagka may mga nasa-zone na na member sa kanila, parang ang tuloy mag-crumble ng formation nila. Kaya ayun, alam ko ngumudngod dito si Kaizen tapos napitas siya, tapos yun nagtuloy-tuloy na.
Yeah. We just and parang naging theme yan for the whole season so far, where for XP laners, it's either mag-sustain ka lang ng lane o mag-split push ka lang, o from out of nowhere, ikaw yung magsa-sandwich sa kalaban natin sa mga objective team fights. And I think there, and Onyx-PH in general, not just si Der, si Ryota also embodies that really well. So, this really just like in game 1, as yung sinabi ni Lyrick, it just boiled down to that one moment where Der decided, okay, I'm gonna go straight for the backline. And naiwan na dito sila Hayes, who was having a great game with the Savior. Naiwan din dun si Donut. So, boom, Onyx wins. Then game number 2, I just really gotta say that was just a tremendous draft by Onyx-PH, bringing out the Popolin Koopa. The moment that Popolin Koopa showed up and the moment that we saw Ling show up in the drafting, I already knew like it's gonna be tough for NXPE. And there's something about, and it's ironic kasi when we think of iconic Popolin Koopa teams from Season 9, yung tatak sa atin is NXPE nung HESA, nung nandun pa si HESA with his Popolin Koopa, at saka yung Popolin Koopa din minsan ni Marky in the gold lane, or Popolin Koopa ni Baloyski na sobrang push lang sa mid lane na position for Popolin Koopa. And yeah, it was just a great draft from Onyx-PH, man. Like, step by step as you saw it, parang lahat ng gusto mangyari sa draft, nangyari para sa Onyx.
I have more to say about this, more specifically for Next Play Evos, pero save natin later because we are talking about them and TNC in detail. Let's go to match number 2, and this one actually shows that Echo is on a roll. Talagang ginawa nila kay Bren the night before, and then they just swept Bren's besties in Omega. It was a 2-0 sweep. I don't know why, but this match just went over me. As in, parang just over my head. If I'm not mistaken, dito nangyari yung Jungle Phoveus, right? Dito ba yung Jungle Phoveus ni Ryzen?
Yes. Game 1.
Oh, that's why I'm trying to forget.
Nga dito sa sa Jungle Phoveus, parang ang ganda niya, ang ganda niya sa papel, pero nung kasi ang dami nilang ang daming dash ng kalaban, parang pakito Pakito Cho ata yung kalaban. No? Parang tuloy-tuloy yung dash. So, parang ang ganda niya sa papel. Pero nung in-game na, yung mga talon ni Phoebus parang hindi tumatama. Parang naiilagan din. Nasasalo din nung dash. Kaya kaya parang hindi siya naging ganun ka-effective. Hindi katulad pag may kasamang Akay na pag may nagtulak, parang may tumutulong na sisi para tumama yung ulti ni Phoebus. Tapos, isa ko pang napuna dito, nangyari na naman sa Omega yung yung nangyari nung nakaraan sa Blacklist. Yung nag-tunnel vision na naman sila, tapos naubos sila sa push. Kasi di ba ganun din yung nangyari nung nakaraan sa sa Blacklist versus Omega.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of tendencies, a lot of messy tendencies, no? Yeah, yun lang. Ako, parang just to encapsulate yung last 2 points ni Lyrick, parang medyo messy na nga yung, well, mahirap na nga yung draft, tapos naging messy pa yung execution. Yun lang.
Just unfortunate there in the end na, for like, yung alala ko talaga, of course, it's Carl Tizzy going for the knock, getting that 3-4 man knock up that eventually turned it around. Yeah, we'll do the Carl Tizzy post later. And credits pa rin sa Omega despite it not being like the best Phoebus games. Kasi I don't think it was like on the fault of Ryzen. Parang kada kita ng Echo na may nagde-demonic force na yung yung Phoebus. Ang dali lang nila maiwasan yung dash. Sobrang handa nila tapatan yung Phoebus. Na okay, sige, mag-ulti ka. We're just gonna avoid all of it. So credits rin talaga sa Echo na kada demonic force ng Phoebus, hindi nila binibigyan masyado ng room si Ryzen na tamaan talaga. Pero credits din sa Omega despite it being such a difficult lineup na pagganahin sa ganitong match, from behind victory pa to para sa Omega. Pero umabot sila sa puntos, muntikan na sila nanalo. Then, sa dulo, literally one man just said, no, I'm not gonna do this. Medyo natulungan din sila by the fact na and I think Wolf pointed this out earlier in our group chat, merong isang siege minion dun sa play na yun na parang na-displace out of range or something, umusog. And then yung Guardian's Barrier pa ni Chaknu, not to the fault of Chaknu, pero kasi yung Guardian's Barrier na tinayo ni Chaknu, nakatulong yun sa to the point where wala nang member of Echo na iwan dun But then they had to go around the Guardian's Barrier. Parang naging perfect storm lang para sa Echo na, huy, himala, let's go, Kaltizi, nakap mo na sila. Nagkataon-taon, tas malas para sa Omega rin.
So yung hard. Sa minions na yun, umusog siya tapos naabot siya nung mid na turret. Kaya ang tuloy niya namatay. At saka dagdag ko lang yung sinabi mo sa sa mga dash kasi may isang moment doon na parang mamamatay na si Cartesi. Ang ginawa nila, pag dash ni Cartesi, sinabayan ni Matilda ng dash niya din para himbis na kay Cartesi mapunta, sa kanya mapupunta yung yung ulti ni Phoebus. Ang ganda ng play na yun.
So kahit na maganda yung kit ng Omega, parang yun nga, Echo just had the answers, and even sometimes, even luck was on Echo's side. Kaya rin sweep. Pero, the last match of the night, nabawi natin. Sweep, 3 games, and by God, did this look like a world champion versus world champion matchup? It was Bren Esports versus Blacklist, kung saan, in a heart-stopping 3-game series, nanalo ang Bren. Who'da thunk? They just put together the monster draft of Game 3, and it looked like Bren Esports came to play. Honestly, sobrang natuwa ako. Again, I think Ducky had already talked about what may have happened during the series, but again, the results speak for themselves. They beat Blacklist International. Was this a 3-game carry game? 3 games with diretso nag-carry si Super Marco? Or did he change 1?
No. Game 2 yung nag-clint siya.
He was forced to clint. There you go. So,
Yeah, and remember nung nasa casting table tayo, we were talking about there were so many picks that we were saying. Pero ang dami na ban Carrie and Brody were banned by Blacklist, Claude also. Tas yung Bren naman yung naban 1-1, Beatrix, Popolin Kupa, Bruno. So, it's like, okay, parang yung clip na lang talaga na iwan for Super Marco. And as much like there's a part of me saying, oh, maybe they could have gone like Irithel, maybe it's a comfort thing, I don't know, but it was just overall ang ganda ng mga drafts nila, Coach Ducky, Coach Bon, Master of the Basics, Paolo Expert, and the entire teams. Really great drafting. Game number 1, and I remember I told you the story and I was going wild about it in the casting table. Like going into week 6, for some reason, a day before, inaral ko yung mga drafting ng Brent. And then when I saw the record of Super Marco na going into this series, undefeated pa yung carry niya in like 5 games or 4 games. And then no deaths. And their condition is always Valentina and Julian. Tapos naisip ko pa, if they're gonna pair that with something, they'll pair that with Kadita. Kasi yung nature yung carry ng Bren is, ang bilis mag-farm. Kasi madalas nangyayari is, naiwan yung carry sa lane, tas si Few, whether it's the Valentino or the Julian, he'll freely be able to roam the map, getting kills elsewhere. Bren will draw the attention of the team to another part of the map. They will fail, and then free si Super Marco mag-farm. Parang sobrang nakakaaliw talaga maglaro ng carry yung Bren Esports na I don't know if it's something they really practiced and said, okay, kung magka-carry tayo, ito yung gagawin natin. Pero rinse and repeat, it's the tendencies of their carry games are always the same if you look back at it. And I also have to mention like Ogwen. Ogwen was an absolute G in this game, man. Si Master Blaster Ogwen. Great performance by the Bren Roamer.
Master Blaster Ogwen. Okay. Lyrick. Lyric, are we seeing Brenny Sports carry analysis incoming? Kasi sobrang lakas niya, undefeated pa. Undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, may analysis ako dito sa game 1 tungkol ano siya, mula draft hanggang match. Yun, check niyo na lang sa YouTube ko. Gusto ko lang idagdag kasi ang panalo yung Bren sa game 1, tapos sa game 2 ang ganda nung draft nung blacklist dito. Tingin ko nagulat yung Bren dito kasi dito lumabas yung Melissa. Tapos last pick yung Bren dito ng Ling. Parang natural. Siguro hindi sanay yung Bren sa Melissa pick. Yung parang para sa akin na yung Melissa parang natural counter siya sa Ling. Kasi pag binaksakan siya ni Ling, yung ulti ni Melissa parang itutulak lang yung Ling, hindi makukuha yung mga blades. Kaya tingin ko, ito yung surprise factor na nagpanalo sa draft ng blacklist. Tapos, pagdating nung game 3, parang reset ulit, labanan na naman ulit.
That's one more thing again that you mentioned that I think we need to take note of in the next weeks. Because this week na-unlock si Militia. At least nakita natin kung bakit nga ba gamit na gamit siya sa ibang regions. And then, kung bakit potentially maging sikat ulit siya or mauso siya dito in week 7 and 8 because she was not touched at all by the patch. So we'll see how that goes into our current programming. Let's go to day 3, ang huling araw ng week 6. Here we have another sweep, an opener that helped secure Onyx their playoff spot. They swept the defending champions. They swept RSG-PH, and it kind of vindicated Rapidot given the exchanges that he had with Light during their interview segments with Mara. Parang okay na. He let his actions speak for themselves. Rapidot here leading Onyx-PH to a sweep.
Yeah, great performance here by Onyx-PH. Di ko alam kung yung Onyx parang lason na ng RSG, but there was something about this series where watching RSG go up against Onyx, it looked like I was watching the RSG team that struggled in the first half of the season. Obviously they played better, pero there was something off with RSG that day. Pero at the same time naman, yung game number 1, it was just also Sensui using the Karina like a Hayabusa that turned the game around. And it was relatively close. But yeah, this was a shaky RSG performance and just a really, really solid, fundamental, textbook performance by Onyx-PH. And sometimes flashy.
May
Okay,
dadagdag
so you
lang
mentioned-
ako, napuna ko dun sa draft dito sa game 1. Kasi ito yung nag-Iritel, di ba? Ito yung nag-irritel nag-irritel sila. Yung Bea. Saglit. Yung game 2.
Game
Game 2
number 2
pala
yung
yun.
nag-irritel sila.
Game 2 yung nag-irritel. Parang kasi yung umpisa pa lang pinakita na nila yung irritel, tapos parang sinasabi na nila na RSG inaasahan na namin na mag-clode kayo. Pero ang ginawa ng RSG dito, parang tinago pa rin nila yung Claude, pinang last pick pa rin nila yung Claude, kahit na parang umpisa pa lang expected na nung RSG. Kaya para sa akin siguro dahil expected na talaga nila, tas yung pa yung nilast pick nila, napilitan sila na maglolita, Lolita, parang bago sila mag-Claude, naglolita, Lolita rumor na sila dito. Parang para sa akin dapat, dahil expected naman talaga dahil wala naman silang ilalabas na ibang marksman, naisip ko baka mas maganda kung nilabas muna nila yung Claude, tapos tinignan nila yung last 2 pick ng Onyx, saka sila kumuha ng roamer na pwedeng ipanghuli.
And at that point, you're problem solving and you're playing to your opponent's strength. Parang binigay mo sa kalaban mo yung gusto nila, tapos sasagutin mo na lang. And sometimes that works, but for the most part, you gotta play what you know, and at this point, play yung Onyx. Kaya hindi gumana yung approach na yun. And then the last match of the night, which was also a banger, I'll say. I'll admit this was also a banger because nabawi ni KLVJ ang talo ng Omega the night before. They went 3 games against TNC and beat him 2-1. Dito nag-MVP si Miko, if I'm not mistaken. Was that twice? Yeah. Did he go MVP twice?
Yeah. Kufra and then the
Ruby.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Oh wait, no. It was just the Ruby. It was just one MVP game. Yeah.
Ganda ron. Again, shades of what Lyrick you were saying, and Renmar, you mentioned it too, na parang medyo gets ng TNC nangyayari. They have very good answers and they know how to play and how to win, pero parang kinakapos lang at every turn, and it seems like their opponents are one step ahead right when they figure out the solution. So I guess this is more a problem that TNC may have, but for Omega, nasabi ni KLVJ to nung post-match interview, sabi nila, hindi, ganito talaga gusto namin, roller coaster, para na-enjoy yung barangay. You guys agree? Is that a thing? Kasi sobrang lakas nila sa simula eh. Tapos, up, down. Tapos, si The King na mismo nagsabi, hindi, gusto namin yan, roller coaster. At...
Guess coin na ba tayo kagad?
That should have been a guest coin.
Parang pang guest coin na kagad to
Should have been a guest coin. Chat, kayo, naniniwala ba kayo kay The King na sinabi niya? Gusto lang daw talaga nila yun eh. Para sa barangay daw yun, yung roller coaster. But yeah, again, very beautiful. You can see how Omega's play lineup looks like. Tapos syempre may Omega timer sila na lineup na Chakno Eto Max Classic. Alright, let's look at the standings. Again, a quick reminder of where we are now currently when it comes to points. Onyx on top, pero ang sikip pa rin, very tight. 21, 20, 19, 17 points both for RSG and Omega. Bren at 16. Tapos next play in TNC at 8 each. I don't want to compare the standings of week 6 to S9 just yet. Feeling ko magbabago pa to. You guys agree? You think there's gonna be drastic changes incoming soon?
I think more on the race para sa top 2 spot. Top 2 spot race lang. But maybe we can discuss a little bit more about NXP and TNC's chances, pero mainit talaga yung race para sa upper bracket eh.
Lyrick, you were saying?
Yun, ganun din. Same din yung thoughts ko. Kasi yung sa baba, medyo nakakalungkot, pero parang ang hirap na. ang laki na kasi, ang laki talaga ng pagitan ng numbers. So, tingin ko yung sa upper lang siguro talaga yung habulan pa. At saka nakakabigla kasi parang last week yung mga nasa taas ngayon, parang hindi naman sila talaga nandyan sa taas ng last week. Grabe yung changes na nangyari. 1 linggo lang yung nakalipas. Tapos may parating pang patch. So tingin ko may mga aangat talaga na masipag magbasa ng patch note.
Speaking of patch notes, I wonder because we have gotten confirmation that we are using the most current patch. So to help, I think the teams were given access to the advanced server and they were given the note na ito nga palang gagawin natin week 7 onwards. And as well, we have gotten word that Gusher and Leslie are banned for now. Okay, since their reworks are relatively drastic and they are technically almost new heroes for week 7 at least confirmed, hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin yung dalawang yon. I think a lot of people have that wondering, that they question that, was raised in a few of our communities. So yun na po, that's what's happening. All right, so that's the week 6 standings. Now, again, you mentioned that maybe the change will happen up top. Let's talk about the teams that may be ending the season up top, okay? What does the upper bracket look like nearing the playoffs? So let's talk about the teams that may be likely in the upper bracket. Tatlo sila. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. There you go. I did it off camera. Nakakaya naman. So, the 3 teams that might end up in the upper bracket, given their current standing and points, are Onyx, Echo, and Blacklist. Here's what Onyx is looking like. They're at 21 points. They can reach a maximum of 30 points kung isweep nila tong tatlong to. And isa lang dito ang hindi nila natalo during the regular season round 1. And that's TNC. And they got swept by TNC. How are we feeling, fellas? How are we feeling about the chances of Onyx staying in the upper bracket?
It looks good, honestly. If we're gonna be honest, like they have really good chances. But this isn't me. And again, it's super hard to call. Kung sino man yung magta-top or kung sino man pupunta sa upper bracket. Parang kung nilatag mo lahat yung mga teams na may chance pa na umabot sa upper bracket. It seems like there's a lot of discussions or debates about it that is correct. I mean, even though right now Onyx sitting at 21, they're the first team, they're looking good. This has been the season of surprises. It's so hard to call, but based on their last matches, I won't be surprised if maybe this might end up being the reverse, where what if there's also a chance they can drop games series to Blacklist and Omega, but then makakabawi sila sa TNC. But again, who knows, man? So many surprises. But right now, the top 2 race, it's way too tight to call anyone safe at this point.
Para sa akin, ang scariest kay Onyx is yung Blacklist. Kasi legit, totoo pa so far, yung never natatalo ang Blacklist, at least this lineup, to the same team twice. So, all logic out the door. Kung salita lang ni Omay Vino sa susundan, totoo na hindi natalo ang Blacklist to the same team. But, again, it's Onyx. Onyx is, the ball is in their court. Lyrick, ikaw, ano feeling mo? Blacklist, Omega, TNC. Kaya ba nilang diretso yun to? We're talking about Onyx PH.
Yung Onyx kasi, parang tingin ko nakita na nila yung butas sa laro nila. Tsaka nakita ko gumaganda na yung trade nila. Yung kasing problema nila nung mga nakakarang week nung parang lose streak sila. Kasi yung parang nasanay yung or nabasa ng mga team siguro na magta-turtle to, maglo-lord kagad to. Parang masyado silang objective base. Ngayon kasi nung naglaro sila last week, nagte-trade na talaga sila yung may Popolin Kupa sila, binigay na nila yung first lord para yung first turtle para ma-push kagad yung top, tapos saka sila bumot. So yung dahil nag-i-improve na or dahil mas nagiging or calibrated na yung pagdating nila sa trading, tingin ko magiging mas maganda yung laban sa Blacklist kasi kilala yung Blacklist na talagang sobrang galing sa macro, talagang kompyutado yung mga galaw. Kaya ito, tingin ko mainit na laban to. Tapos pero yung pinaka-inaabangan ko yung TNC kasi TNC yung unang naghanap ng butas sa kanila eh. Kaya para sa akin, mainit yan. Yan yung inaabangan ko talaga.
If anything, TNC can actually make lason Onyx. Diba? Parang pwedeng i-deny ng TNC, ulitin lang ginawa nila para mas mahirapan yung Onyx mag-upper bracket because 2 lives in the playoffs is a big thing. 2 lives in the playoffs is huge. So far, Season 9, upper bracket galing ang champion. That's RSG. Season 8, not so much. Season 7, upper bracket. Diba? So, I think Onyx really wants to work towards that 30 points max. Let's talk about the next team that may go ahead and take upper bracket, and they have a better chance just looking at numbers wise. It's Echo, who can claim a maximum of 30 points, 2 points more than Onyx, but they have to face one more team. But this is good dahil more chances of winning, right? TNC, Blacklist, RSG, and Next Play Evos are on the docket for Echo to face. Ito, ano feeling natin dito? 20 points, and then you have to fight 4 more teams. So far, they only lost to one team here. They only lost to RSG, if I'm not mistaken.
Oo.
Yeah. Para sa akin, yung biggest question ko sa Echo is, are they and kailan nila gagamitin yung Echo Proud lineup? Tama ba? O Echo Loud. Basta, the lineup with JP outplayed, because they've shown it naman that this is, well, when it comes to Echo, it's hard to say there's like a main 5 and then there's like a sub 5. Although in terms of games played, definitely mas lamang talaga yung sila Carl, that lineup of Echo. Pero pinakita din naman nila Zyda, Kurt, outplayed Renmar and JP na nakakasabay din talaga sila, and they're a team you gotta respect when you go up against. So which one are they gonna play them against? Most people are probably thinking they'll probably play them against TNC, maybe NXPE, and then the rest will just be the lineup with sila Carl and Yahweh for Blacklist versus RSG. But a part of me also wants to see the lineup with sila JP against either Black or RSG, sort of as a way of Echo saying na hindi, wala talaga kaming main 5 or sub 5, malakas din talaga sila. Parang yung sasabihin lang talaga nila para sa teams na hindi yung 5-man yung dapat tignan nyo. 10-man talaga yung mag-ingat kayo sa Echo. And that's what I'm most excited for Echo, if they're gonna go down that route,
We've actually yet to see the full 10-man shuffle, no? Wala pang Echo Cloud or Echo never mind. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, basta mag-mix up sila. I don't know. Lyrick, your thoughts?
Ako, para sa akin, kahit sino yung lumaban, hindi ko alam kung paano nila nagagawa to. Isipin mo, parang compare sa ibang team, mas less yung matches nila kasi dalawang team sila. Pero lately, parang nare-realize ko na parang sila yung pinaka-consistent na team sa lahat. Kahit na ang konti ng matches nila. Nakita natin dun sa week ngayon, grabe yung, nandun yung parang batak na batak sila. Kahit na hindi sila yung laging naglalaro dun sa buong week 6, kahit napapalit-palit sila. So, para sa akin, same dun sa iniisip ni Sir Renmar, parang gusto ko din makita yung kabila naman yung lalaban sa Blacklist at sa RSG. Kasi feeling ko kaya talaga nila, at saka hindi yung main 5 o hindi yung Proud o Loud yung pinaka malakas dito Tingin ko ang nangyayari dito, may idea o may certain meta yung mismong Echo. May guidelines siguro silang sinusundan, kaya ganyan sila ka-consistent.
So far, I think kahit nasabihin nating dumadami na yung games nung Loud and Proud, I agree with you, Lyric. Parang hindi pa rin siya mabasa. And that's one big strength that the Echo has. As in, parang hindi mo alam kung paano mo aralin, sino ang aralin mo, ano kaya nilang gawin. Kasi both Loud and Proud, parang may bara pa na atago. And they're still doing good. They're still up there. They're 20 points currently. So, yun lang. Nakakatakot isipin kung ano pang pwede nilang gawin. And kudos to Coach TikTok and to Coach Treb na ganito nagagawa nila so far. Real quick, shoutouts to JV, to Kurt, and to Season 8 Year 2021 Caster Search Champion, reigning and defending OSX, tuned in. Naglalambing pa rin siya. Lyrick, pwede ka daw ba mag-face reveal at least for him? Pwede daw ba?
Mamaya, baka mamaya may prepared ako.
Oh,
Baka lang naman.
Talaga?
Nako, OSX, lambingin mo pa. Lambingin mo pa, OSX. Okay, we have one more team to discuss and how they are likely to reach the upper bracket and finish the season there. It's Blacklist International. They are at 19 points with a maximum of 31. And they have 4 teams to face off against. It's Onyx, Echo, TNC, and RSG. And 50-50 sila sa record nila from round 1. They lost to Onyx, they lost to Echo, but they beat TNC and RSG. So this one is harder to read dahil yung max points nila, gitna nung dalawang nauna, they're currently the lowest in current points if you're looking at the current race. Pero yung forecast nung laban nila ay 50-50 pa rin. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because even TNC, they swept Onyx back then. They might find some sort of last one against Blacklist. So, I'm not so confident just yet. Lalo na that Blacklist has been having difficulties in the past weeks because, yun nga, teams have started to figure out their draft. Even in execution, that last match that Bren played against them, talagang Bren had it in the bag. You can tell, even in the draft.
Oh.
So, what's it looking like for Blacklist International? Anong chances nila, sa tingin niyo, of making it into the upper bracket?
Weirdly enough, nung nakita ko yung paggamit nila sa Melissa pick, after the series, I was thinking, why do I feel like Blacklist has already prepared for the next batch? And I feel like this Melissa pick has been something they've been cooking na, of course, with all the heroes that we have in the first 6 weeks so far of the season in the current patch setup, the Melissa made a lot of sense. But at the same time, with some of the adjustments to marksmen and to some certain frontline heroes, potential divers, with the most recent patch, parang looking at it, man, Melissa actually does make sense. So, maybe, and not maybe, para sa akin yung biggest factor kung sino man talaga abot into the upper bracket, securing the top 2 spots by the end of the regular season, it's gonna be a question of sino sa inyo yung sobrang nag-prepare talaga para sa upcoming patch. With some specific adjustments, with some adjustments to Beatrix. Of course, right now, everything is in theory and paper. We're gonna see everything in action in week 7 and in week 8. Gaano talaga na apektado yung meta dahil sa bagong patch. But may kutob talaga ako na Blacklist have been preparing for it and they're ready for it.
That's an interesting insight na yung current trajectory nila is a read that they may have read the current meta. Interesting. What do you think, Lyrick? Is it sign? Is it a sign of good things to come? Dahil baka nga ahead mag-isip ang Blacklist?
Actually, di ko nga naisip yung naisip ni Sir Renmar eh. Kasi nasa ko ngayon, nasa dilemma ako ngayon na sana hindi ako mabash sa sasabihin ko kasi medyo negative siya. Pero nasa dilemma ako ngayon na umaabot na ba sa point na nababasa na ng mga team yung Blacklist kaya ang ganda na ng mga binabatong drafts sa kanila. Kasi lately, yung Omega, yung Bren, ang ganda talaga ng mga draft na binabato sa kanila eh. So, it's either masyado na bang madaling mabasa yung Blacklist o baka yung sinabi ni Sir Renmar na kaya ganito yung Blacklist ngayon kasi mas may prepare sila para sa next sa mga susunod na linggo. So, hindi ko naisip yung iniisip ni Sir Renmar kasi medyo iniisip ko na din talaga kung bakit paano nakakasabay yung mga ibang team. Parang nababasa na talaga ng ibang team yung Blacklist. So, negative ba to sa Blacklist o baka may tinatago nga sila?
And yung basa
I
factor,
feel like it's a...
Go ahead, you first.
Sorry, I just have to mention. I feel like it's parang kailangan din talaga natin i-praise yung mga teams, all the teams in the MPL because of how they've stepped up their drafting, how they've stepped up their execution. Parang it's hard to think of it as a Blacklist problem and more of just a let's give props to the other teams. Grabe talaga nag-improve lahat. Kaya yung sinabi ni Coach Why Not a few weeks ago na season 10 best season so far kasi ang lakas talaga ng lahat. Parang again, it's ano ba yun? May sinabi sa Avengers, strength invites opposition. And dahil nga sa sobrang daming successes ng Philippine teams internationally, lahat ng mga Philippines team sinabi nila, okay, lakas natin to. Pakita natin yung lakas ng Pinas dito din sa Pinas. You know? So, kaya sobrang nag-level up yung drafting, execution, everything. So, it's just really have to praise the other teams or all the other teams that said, okay, we're gonna bring world-class MLBB every single day when we go to work.
Yep. So MPL-PH is basically MPL World. It's a stretch, pero you understand. You get it, right? You get it. So with that being said, it's not a blacklist problem. It's an all teams problem. And kung mabasa ka, you just have to be better the next time around. So we have that coming week 7, to see what the patch brings. All right. So now, with that being said, it's nice for us to talk about the middle of the pack as well. Sakto, same pa sila ng points. We have here 3 teams that are struggling. 1 point pala ang pagitan nila. So there's Bren at 16 and then Omega and RSG at 17 each. But the max points differs, okay? Bren Esports still has 3 matches, 25 max. RSG, max at 29. And then Smart Omega, max 23 at 2 matches. So at least this time around, compared to Season 9, hindi na nanganganib ang Omega, not as much anymore. It's not as bad. But again, 2 matches left. They may be running out of gas. Kasi ang bilis pa nila lang nalaro yung mga laban nila. So, 2 weeks left, 2 matches left. So, tigis na lang sila, makapagpahinga sila. What are the chances we're looking at these teams? Is there a world wherein Omega ends up in the upper bracket? Is that even possible? I'm not sure what the math looks like.
Okay. This happens every season, but based on just like the maximum points remaining, mukhang malabo na. Hindi sa imposible. But dahil yun nga, RC has 4 matches, Bren has 3, Omega literally only has 2 left. Malabo na. But I'm not gonna say na it's not gonna happen. It's MPL Philippines Season 10, man.
It's not
Feeling
zero.
ko pag-abot ng week 8 eh. It's not zero eh. Feeling ko malalaman lang natin yung upper bracket, baka may chance pa nga, baka biglang sa huling araw ng week 8, doon natin malalaman kung sino talaga abot sa upper bracket eh. It's that close. And I hope it remains that close na kung ano man yung magiging resulta ng after week 8. Kasi, sipin mo, week 8, last day is NXP, Echo, Black versus RSG. So those are 3 teams potentially who can go into the upper bracket. Onyx, yung isang match lang nila, TNC sa week 8, day 1. So yes, we're already talking about week 8 here because of the remaining points. So I'm not gonna say something is impossible, but it's gonna be tough. Ang hirap ng sitwasyon ngayon ng Omega to make it into the upper bracket.
Yeah.
Have,
Very tough.
Oh wait,
Very
no,
tough. Pero is it 3?
I think they have 3 matches, yeah.
Really?
They still have Omega NXPE, Omega Onyx, and Omega Bren.
Omega Brain.
So 3 matches
pa. Okay, I may
so
have
they have 3 matches
flubbed.
left. Kaya din.
Oh no, the website flubbed. All right, so we took these schedules from the website. So if you look at the website now, it says 2 matches left. So it's missing that one more in the bottom. So yun, Bren nga, they're missing that last match against Bren. Yes. No, they're missing their last match against RSG. Yeah. Check the website. So again, guys, the website is weird. But I think of all the other teams, so iba pala, ang posible pala ni Omega is 26.
Yeah.
Omega
Kung
ang
ganun,
plus 3.
then it can be anyone, man.
Surprise!
Website that is dirty.
Surprise!
All right, so MPL-PH website, this is some QA help for you. Fix the Omega schedule. Thank you. All right, so I think they're all the same then. RSG lang ang lamang. RSG at 4 matches. with 29 max. So defending champs can actually make a glory run. Pwede pa.
Yeah. That's why these last 2 weeks are so crucial and they're so exciting. This is how tight the race is, man. Na at any one of the one, I won't even be surprised if somehow Bren makes a miracle run to the second spot. It's still possible. That's a possibility.
Naniniwala din ako dyan.
Okay, alright. So,
At saka
for
sa
Bren...
Omega,
Oh, yes.
I'm
You're
sorry,
saying for Omega.
dadagdag ko lang sa Omega, parang hindi naman big deal sa kanila kung nasa upper o lower bracket naman sila. Parang sanay na sanay sila talagang mas maraming laban, mas masaya. Kaya parang para sa akin, gusto ko na lang silang mapanood. Ayoko nang isipin kung saan sila mapupunta. Kasi alam ko naman na talagang pagdating ng playoffs, solid na solid yung performance nila.
Yeah. If I may, mas gusto nga yata ng Omega na wala sa upper bracket. Kasi hindi sila komportable doon. Year after year, season after season, mas malakas sila sa lower bracket. So, ewan ko lang kung mas masaya sila sa 2 lives or kung magpo-perform sila doon. But yeah, again, sabi nga ni The King, roller coaster. Let's move on. Before we even show the wrong stat again, MPL website, you're next. Let's go ahead and talk about the 2 teams that are currently struggling. It's not easy to be a Next Play EVOS and a TNC fan because they're both at 8 points and it's already week 7. Let's talk about their chances and who they might be facing next. The struggle is real because for Next Play EVOS, they can only get a maximum of 20 points and they're still yet to face Omega, RSG, Brenny Sports, and Echo. Oh man. 2 of these teams are on a winning streak or at least have found their stride. And then, the other 2 teams are half and half, pero alam mong pangbalagbagan, world class. I'm talking about RSG and Omega, MSC champions. What's it looking like for the Neon Tigers? Fellas, should they stick to their Kaizen-centric lineup with Rene J in the XP lane? Or should they shuffle up again? Kailangan ba nila na si H2 ulit maglaro in the jungle? Man, what are they doing right? What are we feeling for Next Play EVOS?
Sa akin, ang tingin ko, ewan ko kung anong meron sa Hayabusa, pero pag Hayabusa sila, sobrang ganda ng early game nila. Di ko alam kung anong meron sa rotation nila pag Hayabusa sila, pero siguro dun sila mag-umpisa. Kasi lahat ng Hayabusa nila parang ang ganda talaga ng ang ganda ng rotation nila. Ang nagiging problema lang, nagkakaroon ng sablay na maling clash at saka o kaya hindi nila na-hold yung early game na lead nila. Pero may something sa Hayabusa at saka sa pagiging aggressive na laro ng NXPE. Baka doon nila mahanap yung rotation o yung something na kulang sa kanila.
For me and NXPE, we can just keep it to a simple thing of something that all Lyrick na mentioned din niya is let's just look at the team fighting. Kung paano nyo i-approach yung mga team fight and skirmishes nyo. What do you do with the info? Kung wala yung explainer ng kalaban, how's your backline doing? I think that's been something that has been said about NXPE throughout the season na hindi lang sinasabi ng mga casters. Parang napo-point out din ng mga members of the community, of course, the one who are very active with analyzing and posting their opinions online about it, which is there's something about NXPE and their team fighting na minsan napapabayaan talaga yung backline nila. And I feel like a good half of that is NXPE could have done better. Pero at the same time, credits din sa mga XP laner na kalaban nila na they can easily access the backline of NXPE like that. Because that's a backline anchored by players such as Yelly Hayes and Donut who is relatively safer. Pero parang ang daming focus talaga binibigyan ng ng opposing teams kay Hayes and Donut or whoever is playing in the mid. Sometimes even when Lancy was playing, sobrang focused ng backline when it comes to team fighting. So I think that's the only thing that NXP will, para sa akin, that they should look at. I'm not gonna go into their picks drafting. I don't know the team that well to say that, oh, they should pick this, they should pick that, kasi baka it's a comfort. I agree though with Lyrick. There's something in the Hayabusa there that they might want to play around.
So I can't help but agree, lalo na dun sa Yelly Haze Donut combo. Gustong kagatin parate ng XP laner or ng jungler ng kalaban yung dalawang yon, and after that it all crumbles. More often than not, that's what happens. So with that being said, let's see kung makakaraos pa ang next play Evos again a maximum of 20 points. Kasabay nila ang TNC dito, another team at currently 8 points, but now with only a maximum of 17. They only have 3 games left, and they have yet to face Echo, Onyx, and Blacklist International. Again, max 17 points na lang, and I don't know, they can... Oh, interestingly enough, itong tatlong mga kalaban nila, yung mga currently in the running for upper bracket. So, that's something. They can definitely upset these 3 teams. I don't see how they can't.
Yeah.
Lalo na kung ituloy ni Cram yung kanyang pagpapakito. That's one good thing they have going. First pick Pakito. They can force that.
Yeah. I think na-mention na natin to sa English cast when we casted that TNC game. So this is what needs to happen for TNC. Yes, maximum 17 sila. But they have to hope that Bren Esports does not get a single point. The Bren Esports can't hit 17 kasi sa head-to-head ng Bren at saka TNC, lamang yung Bren, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Bren defeated TNC twice. So, they have to hope Bren Esports loses all their matches and TNC needs to sweep all the remaining matches. That's what TNC literally needs to do para makaabot to the playoffs. That's tough, man. That's tough.
So meron na silang isang kailangang harangan or at least dasalan na maharangan, and that's Bren. So I was hoping that we wouldn't go into too much calculations tonight dahil again, may 2 weeks pa. Pero yun yung isang concrete fact na hindi dapat makalampas ng 17 points ang Bren. Lyrick, what else do you think TNC can do? Besides first pick Pakito, besides confirming Cram time?
Pero yun nga yung nakikita ko, iba talaga yung step up ni Cram lately. At saka parang alam na naman nung TNC talaga kung ano yung i-improve nila. Nakakalungkot lang na limited na lang yung oras nila. Feeling ko na-figure out na nila yung mga bagay-bagay. Kasi kahit na yung Amon ni SD, nandun yung concept, nandun yung idea. Sadyang ang nangyari lang doon, nadali sila ng Xavier Bea kasi parang lahat sila puro pasugod doon. Parang yung mid nila si Lena kailangan ding sumugod, kaya nung nag-mystic field lahat sila nahuli tapos madali nang ma-burst ng Bea. Pero overall para sa akin alam na nung TNC kung ano yung dapat nilang i-fix. Parang kailangan na lang silang bigyan ng time, kaso sadly 2 linggo na lang yung natitira.
Yeah. So, I'm only imagining really what's going on with TNC dahil they found themselves in the same situation 2 seasons ago, season 8. Ganito rin ang itsura ng TNC na parang, we have to make kapit. Dasalan natin yung mga teams na hindi sila umabot sa ganito. Tapos kailangan natin i-sweep lahat ng laban natin. But, I don't know. We'll see. This week, they'll come back, and I hope also for next play Evos that they have something left in the tank. Dahil hindi pa naman tapos ang lahat. It's not zero. It's not over just yet. So with that being said, we are gonna go ahead and take a quick break. Thank you for everyone watching right now on YouTube. There's quite a bit of you guys over there. There's Mark, LC, Eman, John Clever, and a few other international viewers as well on Kumu and Facebook. Nandiyan si Elgene, nandiyan si Martin Madarang. Again with the wife and the baby, I hope. Kenneth Angeles as well, and Hazy and Junel Eledia. Yan, tsaka si Jeffrey Montes. Yan, okay, we have a lot of viewers. Damn. Ginoong Balde, tsaka si Bogji Banoski. Yan, alright. So when we come back, best believe we still have our favorites. There's gonna be power picks, power rankings, and guest coin, alright? So again, we're with Renmar and Lyrick. My name is Leo. You're watching Recall. We'll be right back. What up? Welcome back. It's time for those, what am I looking for? Staple segments. Yan. Upcoming here on Recall. Ako nga pala si Leo. Let's bring in our special guests. Well, they're here so often. They're pretty solid guests. I don't know. The word special makes it seem like you don't come in very often. It's Renmar and Lyrick. What's up? We're doing
Hi.
power picks first. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. So player, play, and hero. Mauna na ako, okay? Let's bring it in. My player of the week is... Ayun, nilagan ko. Ayos ba yun? There you go. It's Demon Kite. A lot of people are giving me a bunch of crap about not putting Demon Kite in my greatest junglers of all time list. Again, it's my list. Please make your own if you think mine is wrong. Pero this week I want to show some love to Demon Kite. He scored his first Savage, and again, that's a career highlight. So if you score a Savage in a week ever, then you definitely get to be player of the week, at least in my eyes. All right, so that's my player of the week, Demon Kite. Let's talk about my play of the week, and it's the backdoor play. It's the nasty backdoor play. Here you'll see yung masamang binabalak ni na Benny, ni na Yawi, at ni Carl. And tinan mo gano'ng katagal naka-park dito yung Beatrix, yung Fanny, tsaka yung Cho. Here we go. Linakad lang nila. Tapos pumasok pa pala, nag-dash si Yawi. And then look at this. Oh God, I think yung call namin dito, if I'm not mistaken, I was on desk when this was happening. It was, and that's it.
Yep. Just
Disgusting.
all shouting. Bumili pa nga ng wind tower si Carl eh.
Really? Oh man, I didn't even see the micro plays. Basta ang alam ko, may masamang balak and nagawa nila and they won. That's it. That's all that matters. That's the genius in it. So that's my play of the week, the backdoor with the Beatrix by Echo. And of course, my hero of the week is none of those heroes mentioned in that play, but instead it is this guy over here. Oh, ang galing ng point ko. Yes! It's Balmond. He is so first pickable, folks. Solid first phase. Very rarely mo ito makikita dumating na second phase because he's so useful. It's so important in the meta right now. The lethal counter retribution plus the way he's so tanky and is able to face check and even bait out into the late game. So good, so good. So yeah, this is my hero of the week. Sobrang staple niya ngayon. It's Balmond. So those are my power picks. Let's hear from you now, Reptar. What you got?
Okay. I think the order is player first. So if I remember correctly, yung player of the week ko is si Carl Tizzy. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Do it.
Pre-practice ko kanina to eh.
Get in the face.
Sabi ko din yung ano.
Yeah, you're not sure if you're smiling or not.
Yeah, the smile is on his mouth. Like, dude, Carl Tizzy, man, was just so good this week.
He's a maniac, right? He's a maniac.
Yeah, he got the maniac, the game-saving play. What else can I say about Carl Tizzy, dude? It's like he gets better each week in MPL-PH Season 10, and I think this was his best week so far, and things are looking up for Carl Tizzy. And yeah, player of the week, no, for me, man. So good. And then the next one is the play of the week, diba? And my play of the week was, I know everyone would be talking about the Echo backdoor, but Sensui, man, I literally, because, okay, just so you guys know, yung solo analyst, it's in the same area kung saan yung panel. And the solo analyst stand is one of the loneliest places in the broadcast. Because you're not with the other talents, but the crew that you're with there, the cameraman, the floor director, the person who's also handling some certain assets in the screen behind us, super nice people, but sometimes it does get super lonely, that stand. We all simultaneously, when Sensui got that Lord, stood up. And I cannot say what some of us said. I swore out loud. The stream director swore out loud because of how good that was. Because we didn't expect Sensui to just play that like a Hayabusa. It's just like, hey, all right, sorry, I'm out. No, I'm back. I'm gonna take you, Lord. I'm out again. And then, galing. Sensui, man, such a good play. And that's something that I will remember for a long time. And my hero of the week is none other than... Oh, damn it, I was trying to time it with a snap. Carrie! I feel like Carrie also is gonna be another pick that's gonna show up. Again, win conditions for Carrie, Valentina, Julian, high burst. Although Valentina might fall off the meta a bit, but although her utility is so good, yung stun niya mababawasan onte. The Terrify, I mean, with the latest patch. But Carrie just slots into a lot of ideas that teams want to play. And I think Super Marco also has become the definitive standard carry for this season, how to play it. Sobrang sulit talaga yung paggamit niya ng Phantom Step. One Phantom Step away at the right time changes a team fight, changes the chances of a carry of surviving a team fight and being able to deal damage. So that's why she's my hero of the week. And I feel like there will be more carry picks coming up for week 7 and week 8.
Throwback. I like it. Throwback. Because whenever carry is meta, parang doon nangyayari yung mga moment na parang isang one hit na lang or walang minions. So I think it's come time that in season 10, in a milestone season like season 10, dapat maging meta si carry. So that's a good pick. A solid pick right there. Lyrick, your turn. Let us know what your power picks are. Tell us about your player, play, and hero of the week.
So, yung player of the week ko, walang iba kundi si Yawi. Kasi sobrang consistent talaga niya. 3 games, Cho. Parang parte na ng katawan niya si Cho. Ang grabe yung mga TikTok play, yung mga pick-off. Talagang, alam mong master niya si Cho. Pero, alam na naman natin na magaling talaga si Yawi sa Cho. Ang gusto ko lang sabihin yung honorable mention ko, si Cram. Si Cram kasi nakita natin na nag-step up talaga siya, lalong-lalo na sa linggong to. Tapos connected din yan sa play of the week ko. Direct pa, play of the week. Yan. Ito yung play of the week ko. Take note natin na dalawa lang yung buhay dito, si Balmond at saka si Pakito. Tapos magbibigay ng pressure si Pakito, iilagay niya yung skill 2, tapos marami siyang option dito. Pwede silang bumak kasi dalawa lang sila, or pwede silang umagaw dun sa Lord, last hitin nila. Pero ang ginawa ni Cram dito, finorce niya, binigyan niya ng pressure yung marksman. Kaya ang nangyari, nag-crumble ngayon yung buong RSG, at dahil doon, yun yung nagpanalo sa kanila. Ito yung nagagawa ng mastery mo sa hero. Pag may mastery ka sa hero, parang mas dumadami yung option mo, mas na-check or mas naiisip mo kung ano yung mga pwede mo pang gawin. Kasi dito, ang naisip ko lang dito, back na, sayang, okay, last hitin yung Lord. Pero pwede palang ganito, pressurein natin yung isang hero kahit na dalawa lang tayo para mag-rumble yung buong team, tapos nakuha nila yung Lord. Tapos connected na din to dun sa hero of the week ko, which is si Pakito. Kasi sobrang flexible ni Pakito ngayon. Nakakita tayo ng roam Pakito kay Batut na maganda din yung performance. Tapos nakakita din tayo ng gold lane Pakito na ginawa din ng TNC, pinalaban nila sa Bea. Tapos yung XP lane Pakito, tapos yung yung jungler Pakito. Mid lane Pakito na lang hindi pa natin nakikita, kaya sa mga nagra-rank game dyan, kung alam nyong cancer yung kakampi nyo, pumik kayo ng Pakito, tapos kung ano yung natirang role, yun na yung gawin nyo kay Pakito. Kasi pwede, flexible na flexible.
I like it. That whole Pakito on Cram made me a believer. And ngayon ko lang narinig yun, yung Cram ball. So, sana magamit natin sa cast.
Cram ball, I like it.
Cram ball. Pwede. Unahan natin yung Tagalog desk. I don't know kung nagamit na nila. Feeling ko hindi pa eh. But that's our power picks. Again, Lyrick has a honorable mention per player of the week, and that's Cram. Pero si Yawi talaga player of the week niya. Si Yawi, the lover boy. Let's go in power rankings. Shall we? Ito yung pinaka-favorite ng karamihan, and I also kind of like how our power rankings jump from week to week. Renmar, how about you go first? Show us what your power rankings look like.
Sure, lapag-issues na natin yan, direct. Show all of it.
Pag-issues TM.
I thought, okay. Feeling ko tumiming yun sa headbang. Let's go. Okay. So, at the top right now, I have Onyx and Echo. These are power rankings na exclusive to Week 6 or just really taking into mind Week 6 and implications for Weeks 7 to 8. So, Onyx at the top because they secured their playoff spot. They performed really well. They won both of their matches this week, 2-0 pareho. Echo second spot, 2-0 pareho. Pero interchangeable yung, actually no, Onyx top talaga kasi playoff secured na sila. Echo is almost there. Just needs like a point if I'm not mistaken, but they should be good as well. And Bren Esports, I put them at the third spot despite them dropping 2-0 to Echo. I feel like winning against Blacklist International just shows a lot of weight. And the drafts and the gameplay that they showed in the series against Blacklist International was amazing. They could have won that game 2 against Echo. They kept it really close. It was an impressive draft as well, pero na backdoor play lang sila. So I feel like Bren for this week, because they've had their 2 matches, respectable showings for both, a win over Blacklist, great drafts throughout the week, great performances from 2 versions of their lineups. Again, this is the week that we also got to see sila Joy Boy, Flap play. Bren Esports goes to the third spot for me, and things are looking up for them. They've really found their stride. Yung investments talaga ng Bren on their young new lineups in Season 9 is working really well. Blacklist International, I put them at 4th. They put on a show against Bren Esports. They put the league on notice that they have a Melissa pick. They only had 1 series this season, but they dropped this week 6, but they dropped it. But they're still really close with securing their playoff slot as well. So they're in the 4th spot for me. RSG-PH and Omega are under Blacklist International, despite RSG-PH and Smart Omega going 1-1 this week. Because they're in the lower half of the power rankings. These are 2 teams who, as much as possible, are also eyeing those top 2 spots. Smart Omega wanting to finally get there, but of course, I think for we've already mentioned Omega for them. Upper bracket, lower bracket is both fine. But these are 2 teams who are also farther away from the top 2 spots than they would like, sitting at around 17 points each. Yeah. So that's why they're there. Pero if you look at it, Bren, Blacklist, RSG-PH, Smart Omega, they're interchangeable for me, but I just like this look right now. Tapos next play EVOS TNC Pro Team, I think pretty self-explanatory kung bakit sila in the lower portion of the lower bracket. Sila talaga yung kailangan gumapang at mahirap yung daan nila para makapasok lang sa playoff. So good luck to NXP and TNC.
Real quick, snap it. All right, there you go. Cool. Oh, whoa. All right. Sana gumana rin yung sa akin kasi headbangin ko rin eh. Pero mamaya na after Lyric, how about you go first, man? Kwento mo sa amin yung itsura ng iyong power rankings. May tiers ka rin ba ulit?
Oo, syempre, para sa akin talaga dikit-dikit yung mga team, so tier ulit tayo. Direct ilabas mo nga. Tara, ayan. So, tulad pa rin nung last week, medyo, di ba nung last week may 3 tier lang tayo. 3 tier lang ulit tayo ngayon. Ang nangyari, nagkabaliktad lang yung taas at saka yung baba. So, dun muna sa baba, syempre nandun pa rin yung pull yourself together team na nandun na sila pero medyo nabibitin ng konti yung TNC Pro at saka yung Next Play EVOS. Siguro kung bibigyan pa natin sila ng time, baka mahanap nila identity nila. Kaso sadly, 2 linggo na lang yung natitira kaya medyo nasa baba sila ngayon. Tapos yung rock, paper, scissor na tier list ko last week, medyo bumaba sila, natalo sila nung on the way tier ko. So itong rock, paper, scissor, yung RSG Blacklist, Smart Omega, medyo nabitin sila ngayon para sa akin. May mga pinakita silang kakaiba, especially yung Blacklist nga na Melissa nga, grabe. Nakakatuwang makakita ng iba sa gold lane. Pero medyo nabitin sila para sa akin. Ang highlights talaga sa akin yung mga on the way tier ko. Napunta sila sa pinakataas, yung Onyx, na nakikita ko na ang ganda talaga nung pagpili nila ng trade ngayon. Talagang mas nag-level up yung pagti-trade nila. Hindi na sila nakafocus lang sa turtle o nakafocus lang sa objective. Talagang may inaayos sila ngayon. May mga, siguro sa Onyx lang, ang nakita ko, may mga part pa rin sila na parang may mga naliligaw na siguro miscom lang. Katulad nung nangyari kay Super Prince dun sa kadita niya na nasa gitna siya ng jungle kaya nahuli siya. Pero bukod doon, sobrang solid na nung Onyx ngayon. Nahanap na nila yung pagkukulang nila nung mga nakakaraang linggo or yung siguro yung missing piece sa kanila. Tapos yung Echo, syempre, iba yung consistency ng Echo ngayon. Kaya nandyan sila. Tapos yung Bren, eto, unang guesting ko pa lang talagang sinasabi ko na ang ganda ng drafting, ang ganda ng execution ng Bren. Tapos gusto ko ding honorable mention ulit yung Team 2 ng Bren, kahit na natalo sila doon, ang ganda ng concept na ginawa nila na kinontra nila yung funny ng Moskov at saka ng Grak. Nakakatuwa yung funny na uuntog pagka hinaharang ng Grak o kaya minsan tinutulak ng Moskov. So, nandun talaga yung idea kahit nung sa Team 2 nila, nandun yung idea, nandun yung execution. Talagang medyo nabitin lang sila doon kasi alam ko kinulang ata sila sa instant burst kasi nakamatilda sila. Tapos, yun lang. Bali, 3 tier lang sila. 1, 2, 3. Nakaposting na ako Screenshot nyo na lang.
Matic. Alright. I like it. Again, yung nasa bottom, ang tawag ni Lyrick doon ay ang pull yourself together tier. Ano yung mga iba meron ding emblem names, but we'll work on it. Okay, we'll work on it. Let's talk about my power rankings real quick. Latag mo na lahat, direct. Pow! Disappointed in me. Parang MS200 yun pero anyways, nagawa naman natin. So, my number 1 is Echo because again, they seem unstoppable. Lalo na parang alam nila yung mga mechanics na pwede mong i-exploit. And again, you pair that with mastery and you end up by sweeping teams. Wanton destruction leaving in your wake. So, that's Echo. They're number 1 for me right now. And then Onyx Philippines, super solid. They swept the defending champions. They are currently number 1 in standings and they secured the playoffs. And then in third is Blacklist because again, it takes a lot of cojones to start drafting a Melissa and win with it too. So they are struggling, but they're still very strong in my eyes. And then nasunod ng Bren Esports, who is very clear. Parang kilala nila yung sarili nila and they prepare very well against other teams. So, super solid. These are my top 4. So, ito yung upper half ng brackets. And then the lower half for me is Smart Omega and RSG dahil hot and cold sila in the past few weeks. Hot and cold. And the reasons why are very different. So, hirap ang RSG and Smart Omega for different reasons. But they're still keeping their heads up high. And then, of course, the teams that are very, very much in trouble right now, to say the least, TNC Pro Team and Next Play Evos. Now, the reason why nakalamang ang TNC ngayon is because, again, it's cram time. Gets the cram na kahit na kulang tayo sa points, I still have to step up, and he's stepping up with his Paquito, no doubt. And then, Next Play Evos, parang personally for them, just as an observer and as a part of the league, hirap ako maghanap ng solution for them. Kaya nandyan sila ngayon because I can't see how to solve their problems. Parang ang hirap maghanap ng formula. So, that's why they're there for me right now. This is my power rankings. What's up, Porcas? Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird screenshot. Don't take it. Never mind. Okay, laugh it up. Ray Ash shared his power rankings. Anyone else want to share? Put them in the chat. We'll try to read it out later on. As well, YouTube do the same. And Kumu, do the same, all right? Lapag nyo na rin yan. Let's go into Guest Coin, our last segment for the night. Woo! There it is. Okay. Y'all know the rules. Y'all know how it is. May statement tayo. Buy or sell. Buy if you agree. Sell if you don't. Direk, lapag mo na. All right? Let's go. Our first statement. Whoa! Wait lang! This is Lyrick's face
Oh!
reveal. Are we buying or selling? Whoa!
Diba
Parang
sabi sa
I'll
inyo
buy
may
it for
surprise
now.
ako eh.
I'll buy it for now. He's a smiley dude.
Okay, Lyrick. Okay, Lyrick.
Diba?
I'm
Sure.
happy. I'm happy for what we got.
I am sell for that face reveal. Sell ako dun sa face reveal.
Not mad. He's disappointed.
Yeah. Not mad, just disappointed.
Lyrick has no say
Maraming
in this.
nagbabay, diba? Maraming naniniwala.
Lyric has no say in
Wait,
this. Bawal
while
ka
we're
mag-buy or
on
sell.
this, kailangan ko lang ikwento na sinabi sa akin ni Lyrick dati. During the MSC watch party in SM Santa Mesa, apparently Lyrick was there. So, I know probably what Lyrick looks like, pero because of all the people that were there in the watch party, just don't remember. Nagkausap pa tayo, Lyrick? Like, did we like talk to each other?
Hindi tayo nagkausap pero tatlo kasi kami noon, tapos yung kasama ko yung, 'di ba may mga games doon, nanalo siya ng skin. Tapos ako yung nagtutulak sa kanya para wag siyang mahiya.
So, pwede
Kailangan
mo
ko
ilagay si
balikan yung
Lyric.
picture.
Pwede mo ilagay si Lyric sa isang parang suspect line. Hindi mo pa rin siya makikilala. Kasi meron pala siyang kasama.
Hindi ko maano. One
Oh,
of
this is
these
the best
days.
we got.
Ito na naman
This is the
tayo.
best. This is the best we got. I hate it. Alright, let's bring up the real
Maganda nga yung ngiti ko
statement.
dito eh.
Alright, here's a first statement. Onyx and Sui should pick up Assassin soon. Do we buy or sell? Is this one thing that the rookie jungler needs to do to maintain their winning ways? Buy or sell?
I'm just gonna go for sell right away, cause yes, there are a lot of teams that have shown that Ling, Lance, definitely you can still play them. It's not all the time, pero option talaga sila, and there are assassins built to play like an assassin. There. I think he's already played like Karina and Julian though. So, okay, wait. He's already played Assassins. I just realized that he's already played damage build Julian's, damage build Karina's. May record na siya eh. But if we're gonna talk specifically about Lancelot and Ling, since yun yung nakalagay sa photo, I will say sell on that idea because they're already working for this. I'm not gonna tell Onyx, no, you should do this to be better. Kasi gana na to eh. It's working out for them. But yes, the caveat of this is, nag-assassin na yan. So, yeah.
Buy na sell.
Basta kung masaya si Sensui, masaya din ako. Yun.
That's a different statement entirely, based on Sensui's happiness. But ako personally, just because I like seeing Onyx winning and I like seeing rookies on top, I'll say buy. If his hero pool is more diverse, if he has that one pocket pick na parang based on studies and stats, parang wala namang Lancelot si Sensui, for example lang, or wala namang Hayabusa si Sensui, mas mabalmon din eh. That would be the greatest swerve that Coach Jeff and Bluffsy may have in their back pocket. So yun lang, ako lang, just so that we see crazier things. Bye. I just want to see Sensui start playing crazy assassins. That's just me. That's my selfish want. How about you, Lyric?
Ako buy, pero hindi ko sinasabi na dapat mag-assassin siya. Buy ako kasi, yun, katulad nga sabi ni Sir Renmar, nakita na natin si Karina, nakita na natin si Julian na damage build. So, tingin ko, nandun talaga yung option, baka hindi lang nila nilalabas. Kasi, nakita na natin yung mga damage build na gumagana naman. So, at saka, syempre, para mas mahirap ma-predict. Pero tingin ko, meron talaga silang tinatagong ganun. Baka hindi lang nalalabas.
Okay. A lot of folks in chat saying sell dahil wag nating pilitin yung hindi naman para sa hero na yon or para sa player na yon. But maybe, I don't know, Sensui can play like Ken from Falcon Esports, get a tank build Lancelot, but
Oo nga.
that never, that didn't really win much. Anyways, let's move on to the next statement here, and this one talks about RSG. Buy or sell. RSG is going through a round 2 rough patch. Nabanggit to kanina during our initial discussions that maybe RSG is struggling again, and it's tough because they've suffered sweeping loss after sweeping loss. What's going on? Do we agree that this is another rough patch for them?
Okay, I'm gonna say sell on that because their last games were they beat Omega, they beat TNC, and then they lost to Onyx. Before that, they lost to Blacklist, but that was a great 2-1 series, and that was week 4. So I just can't say now it's a round 2 rough patch. They've literally only had 3 games played in round 2. If you're counting round 2 since the start of week 5.
Right.
Yeah, they've only played 3 games, so it's hard to say it's a rough patch.
Ako, sell ako. Kasi, hindi naman, siguro talo, nagsunod-sunod yung talo nila lately, pero, ano kasi, parang malaking factor doon na, ang lalakas talaga ng team ngayon, kaya sila natatalo siguro kasi mas prepared lang yung kabilang team, pero yung performance nila, hindi naman nabibitin. Nandun naman talaga na maganda yung laban, so, para sa akin, hindi siya rough patch, siguro mas lang, unpredictable lang talaga yung MPL Season 10.
I'll sell also, but if week 7 they struggle again, then there's definitely something up. Because yeah, I'll agree, Onyx is a super strong team and they have won their other matches in round 2. So yun, siguro nga kung yung Onyx nabigla sila doon and then tuloy-tuloy, then yeah, definitely it's a rough patch. But for now, it's a sell. And I think chat agrees with us. So yeah, this is a unanimous call by the recall community. Let's move on to the next statement here. This one is about Next Play Evos, and it's no secret that El Pizo at some point was very vocal about him being fielded in Season 10. And so far, we haven't seen him play. But do you agree, buy or sell? Next Play Evos should field El Pizo for a Cinderella run. You think it'll help him?
I'll just go ahead and say buy for selfish reasons. I just want to see El Pizo play, period. El Pizo impressed me a lot in MPL Philippines Season 9. And I sort of am leaning towards what if El Pizo is the spark, but then at the same time, that means Yali Hayes is going to sit down, and Yali Hayes is really solid. So for me, I'm really just going to say this, buy for selfish reasons. I just want to see El Pizo play a series or 2. That's it. Or maybe just a series. Ilang.
Okay. Chat saying buy as well. Chat just wants to see El Pizo also. Samesies. Hard same. Wow. Actually, ako rin. Sige, I'll just buy. I want El Pizo to show us what he's got. So, yun nga. Besides it being the possible spark to maybe give this team another run or another lease at life, feeling ko for El Pizo. Just do it for El Pizo. And maybe his teammates might agree too. Who knows? So, buy. Buy na lang din ako. Lyrick, how about you?
Buy din ako kasi hindi talaga ako ganun kapamilyar sa laro ni El Pizo, kaya hindi ko sure, or baka yung ibang team din hindi nila ma-predict kung ano yung maibibigay ni El Pizo. Pero gusto ko din yung sinabi ni Sir Renmar na parang ang hirap din bitawan ni Hayes. Kasi sobrang consistent talaga niya, parang kahit alam niya yung gagawin pag lugi, alam niya gagawin pag lamang, alam niya yung position, talagang nandun talaga yung pagiging veteran ni Hayes, kaya ang hirap niyang bitawan. Pero yun nga, gusto ko din, baka pwedeng Rome Hayes, or ewan ko. Ang hirap din bitawan talaga ni Hayes, pero I'll buy.
Yeah, another unanimous call here for again, taking into consideration where Hayes might end up, talagang baka nga NP's in for week 7 and 8. But who knows? We'll move on to the next statement, second to the last. Actually, no. This is third to the last. Very meaty ang ating guest coin this week. This was about Blacklist. Blacklist could use a bigger active roster. 7 weeks in, they are the only team to not ever play with any other players besides their main 5. Buy or sell? Could they use more players that actively play?
I'm gonna say sell here. Okay, I don't know the internal workings of Blacklist International. I'm not gonna say that alam ko ano nangyari behind the scenes for Blacklist, but it seems like I know Eson plays more than Dex. Maybe Eson might, there's a chance, but it seems like Eson and Dex really are playing more of a behind the scenes role. So, excuse me, there's a sneeze that's just dying to come out, but it doesn't want to. Anyway, so that's why my face has been like that. I've just been, yeah.
Not thinking. It's a sneeze.
Yeah, Dex and Eson play a really strong role alongside Coach Master of the Basics, with analysis and also holding the locker room together. So I feel like that's more of their role. If anyone's gonna play, maybe Eson more than Dex, but I don't have a problem with the 5 that Blacklist has played, so that's okay. And I have no info on Kevier. That's all. I don't know. I have no info on Kevier other than I know he shows up in some content. Yeah, but that's it.
Between S9 and S10 Kevier, parang medyo low-key si Kent. Okay. Alright. Let's see. While we're waiting for Lyrick, chat is saying buy and sell at the same time. Sell, I'm guessing, because again, what works, and they're back to reclaim the crown. They're gonna do it their way, and then buy for different reasons as well. One is saying, sabi ni Martin, world champs have a big bullseye on their backs. So what better way to evade that and to be harder to hit than to have a shifting lineup? And then another selfish buy here from Ray Ash. Just let Owl dominate Aeon in sana because they play very different. And I don't know, might be a new kind of Blacklist. So yun, buy and sell 50-50.
Sa akin, sell din ako. Kasi lahat naman ng, kung i-consider yung mga talo ng Blacklist, parang masasabi natin na maganda talaga yung performance na pinapakita nila kahit talo sila. So, tingin ko hindi naman sa player yung problema. Talagang malalakas lang yung mga team. Ang galing nila magbasa, tapos maganda yung drafting ngayon. Pero kung yung player, isa-isa, ang ganda talaga nila ng individual performance nila, consistent talaga. So, tingin ko okay naman sila as is.
Okay, so I guess this comes down to me. Parang gusto ko na This is a weird buy. This is a very weird buy because I don't think. Again, I also have to put up a disclaimer na hindi ko rin naman alam kung anong inner workings of Blacklist. I know them very well. I'm good friends with Boss Rada and Coach Bonchan is always just a message away. Pero again, just fantasy draft, hindi ko pa rin masasabing ang sagot ay easily Owl, Aeon, and Dom in. But what if there's a world wherein Blacklist makes it to M4 and then the way they look now is so different from the way they look then? Paano na-aralin ng Indo, paano na-aralin ng Malaysia and Singapore or whatever, all the other teams, yung Blacklist International. Diba? That'll make it so much more stronger. So, yun lang. Bagong lason. I think it would be nice to see them reclaim the crown or even own the world with a brand new swag. yun lang. I just feel like that could be a brand new way for them to dominate if they have a new form. So I'm not saying the current main lineup sucks or they need help, but more of just an ideal in a brand new world, diba? What if they have more tools? So that's my buy. That's my weird buy. Let's move on to the next statement. And this one is closer to the ground. This one's more realistic. Carry is a must ban against Brenny Sports. Buy or sell.
Bye. I'm no hesitation, bro. That's a buy right there. And that doesn't just mean not giving the carry to Super Marco, but if you're gonna give the carry, make sure you actually Bren won't even pick the carry if they don't have their tools for it. And they usually have their tools for the carry in the first phase alone, or something's gonna go through. Someone's gonna let the Kadita through or something. The carry Bren strat is so good. Teams have to be wary and super careful against it. 6 games undefeated for Super Mark on that carry. That's crazy. And keep mind you, there have been 8 carry games played. 8 carry wins. 8 wins on carry. 6 of those are from Super Marco this season. That's wild.
So we are approaching Rebo numbers on Changwa from season 7. Approaching that kind of madness. So kung ako sa inyo, pigil-pigilan nyo na yan. This is a message to all the teams in the MPL kasi sobrang lakas ng carry ni Super Marco. Sige, I'll just buy. Let this be a message to the universe na Bren, good job. Super Marco, you're a monster. But also, this is ridiculous. 6 wins. So yan, yun na lang. Bye. Lyrick, how about you?
Buy ako dyan. Kasi pinaluwanag ko din to dun sa video ko tungkol sa laban ng Bren versus Blacklist. Yung carry kasi hindi siya pinipick ng Bren kasi meta siya, hindi siya pinipick ng Bren kasi comfort siya. Yung carry, pinipick nila to kasi may specific draft sila na umiikot dito. Kaya isang buong strat talaga tong carry. Kung para ito yung core nung strat nung Bren para sa match na to, parang ganun. So may mga conditions na chine-check para maipasok to. Kaya masasabi kong pinaghandaan talaga ng Bren yung carry game nila. Kaya syempre para at least mabawasan or parang lumamang sa Bren, mas magandang iban na lang kasi handang-handa talaga sila. Alam nila kung paano papaganahin yung carry.
Yeah.
All right,
and
clear.
I like that Lyric mentioned it like that. Yung carries pick nila, it isn't one pick. It's an entire strat around a carry that sometimes also it's not gonna be the carry carrying the team. The other 4 already did it. Carry will just get the kills and stat pad. It's a specific strategy na ang ganda lang talaga ng binubuo nila na drafts around carry that even if it's just those 4 picks, you take out the carry, ang ganda na nung draft na yun. A lot of marksmen can slot into that kind of lineup. So that's why for me that's a ban, and I'm glad Lyric also mentioned it in that way.
Yeah, chat just says sell. A lot of them are saying sell dahil sayang. Teams can actually just counter it or even bait it out. Parang, sige, mag-carry kayo, may sagot kami dyan. And some are saying easy buy because, again, don't give it. Don't give it to Bren. Like you can play what you can. Huwag kayong mapilitan na sagutin yung carry nila, which I'm more agreeing to. Again, hence the buy. So let's clear it out. We have one more statement for the night, and this is it for guest coin. Echo forced Mutan to patch Beatrix. All right, so it was gonna come, but it was what Echo did that night. Possibly that was the nail in the coffin. Buy or sell? Do we agree that Echo forced Munton to patch Beatrix?
Wait lang, sorry, di ba ang alam ko, ang tagal na niluluto yung patch ni Beatrix bago nung Tama, di ba, Leo Lyric? Yung, yung kay Beatrix, yung matagal na siniset up yung,
But, again, that does not help nor disprove the fact that maybe it was Echo who finally made it happen. Kasi nga, kung matagal na siyang linuluto, bakit ang tagal niya dumating? And then, kung Echo nga talagang gumawa nito, ang bilis naman, like days. Diba? So again, it's so weird. It's still up there. So, it's up to us na lang to talk about it. Did they single-handedly cause this patch?
Pati yung patch sa Torre, yung pinakunat.
Yun din, di ba?
Okay. Feeling ko yung Torre may chance pa na Echo talaga yung nag-force sa mundo. Pero yung Beatrix, feeling ko sell ako dito Kung
matagal
sa
na.
Beatrix, matagal na sinasabi ng mga tao, please inerf nyo naman yung shotgun at saka si Beatrix sa Saul. Matagal na yan Kung Bea lang talaga, sell. Pero yung kung sa kunat ng Torre, katulad ng sinabi ni Lyrick, may chance baka mag-buy pa ako dun Pero since Beatrix nakalagay dito, sell ako.
Yeah, ako rin sell, actually. The base is more what I think is the hot fix. But yeah, Beatrix was a long time coming. Feeling ko parang last patch pa yata, sana na-patch si Bea para hindi siya parang either ban or pick right now. But yeah, I don't think it's Echo single-handedly. Meron pang kasalanan dyan ng konti si Ohib, si Kelra, but si Eman, right? So, the base maybe, but yeah, this one, I don't think it's Echo alone. Yeah, so sell ako.
Community effort to na napatch si Beatrix na ganito. Tayo lahat. May kahulugan sa pag nerf kay
Si
Beatrix.
Manjin, possibly si Manjin pa yata, may dinagdag dyan, but si Marks Manjin. Lyrick, how about you? What do you think?
Sell din ako, pero tingin ko matagal na talagang binabantayan ng Munton yung Echo kasi yung Echo yung laging naglalabas ng ng ikakapatch katulad nung sa Feeding Diggy. Tapos ito, so baka binabantayan talaga ng Munton yung yung Echo.
You know what? We should change the House of Highlights to House of History. Kasi kahit dati pa, di ba? Under Aura Fire, or Aura PH rather, Aura PH, doon nila ginawa yung Diggy, doon nila bantayan. Di ba? And then, before that, Sunsparks with the Arrival. So, talagang pioneers ang House of Echo, or at least their lineage to really making the game evolve and change based on their actions. So, ayun. So, I think in agreement tayo na talagang matagal na to. So, sell nga. Alright, so that's it for Guest Coin. Let's clear out the stage and go into the outro. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us in chat and as well, Kumu, Facebook, YouTube. You guys are amazing. Final thoughts and shoutouts, Renmar and Lyrick. Lyrick, mauna ka na, man. What's your newest video about and what's coming down the pipeline?
Ayun, subscribe kayo sa YouTube channel ko para makakain ako ng 3 beses sa isang araw, Lyrick tutorials. Tapos, ayan, medyo ganyan yung itsura ko, dikit na dyan.
Baka pumayat.
Gagawa ko ng patch analysis. Nakakalungkot na hindi natin makikita yung Leslie at saka yung Gusion sa MPL kasi kala ko content na yun pero yun nga. Yun, Lyrick tutorials, tapos salamat sa mga nanonood, lalo na yung mga subscriber ko dyan, nakikita ko lagi nagko-comment. Thank you.
And Reptar?
Follow me everywhere at Esports Reptar sa lahat, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And then on YouTube, it's Renmar Santa Cruz. Same name as my Facebook page. Episode 4 of Mono Legends coming up. Well, technically episode 3 part 2. So thank you for your support of that series. And bukas, I will do the stat check tomorrow night. Hopefully, ma-set up and maayos ko yung streaming apps ko and everything maayos na. So we're gonna dive and you're gonna see how I operate my stat sheets. So, tingnan natin yung mga stats. I think from there, we'll also get a lot of ideas about how teams draft, what to expect. Maybe we'll discuss the patch. Basta it's gonna be a super analytical heavy stream tomorrow night, either 9 p.m. or 8:30. Pero may feeling baka umabot pa ng 9:30. Just be ready by around 9. I'll be ready by that time too. And thank you for everything. Continue watching MPL Philippines. Yay!
And with that being said, we're gonna come to a close. Thank you all so much for joining us again throughout the weeks and the years that we've been running a recall. Maraming salamat. Again, as always, at your service, it's Leo, your host, on behalf of Paps and Naisa and Miwa in the back end as well. Direct Sai and Moonshot making all this possible, and as well Kovenry. You guys can follow us on social media down there, wherever we may see you again. And however next week comes, for sure mangyayari ang MPL Philippines Week 7. So we'll be closing up the show and putting up our schedule there. That being said, see you guys then. Good night. Peace out.